Hey everyone, I'm back up here at the Fortress Depot. As always, busy, and we've been having a lot of interesting adventures over at Sparks Motors with Heavy D. But I'm back up here, and one thing that's been really bothering me is I still have not gotten this area dug out. I really needed an excavator, and my poor little John Deere has been running super slow. So one of the issues I had before was there is a heat exchanger down underneath this piece that I've pulled out of the tank, and I've just opened up the hydraulic reservoir tank. But they had a heat exchanger that ran the cooling lines from the engine, the antifreeze water mix, through the heat exchanger through where the hydraulic fluid works. So I guess it's to make it so that the temperatures are cooling or staying the same, or if maybe the hydraulics is too cold, it warms it up, and if it's too hot, it cools. Well, when I first picked this up, I couldn't figure out where I was to put in the antifreeze. I checked all around, and I figured that that box right there was that. But when I opened it up, there was milky hydraulic oil in it, which had confused me. And because the person who sold it to me, I trusted them and everything, and I didn't really think much about it, didn't really figure it out. But once we got it up, we realized that that was supposed to be for the antifreeze, for the engine coolant, and not hydraulic oil in there. So it took a lot of work to flush the whole system for the engine to get the hydraulic fluid out of it. And then I flushed out quite the hydraulic, because it didn't seem like the hydraulic had gotten much of the antifreeze in there. It seemed like it had gone mostly the other way. However, you know, when it was parked, if you looked at the hydraulic oil, it looked okay. It looks a little milky down there because I've been cleaning it out. So I'd already flushed it once before, and it wasn't a very good flush. I just kept dumping it and putting some clean in. But with it running so slow, I'm hoping to get this thing running a little bit faster, just for, you know, a couple days. So I opened it up after letting this thing set, and I had gotten some what looked like snot at the bottom. You can see in there. So I decided, okay, we're gonna just completely clean the tank out. I mean, it's gonna be sort of hard because there's still other lines, because on the first time I did the clean out, you know, it seemed to clean everything out, but you know, there's stuff in the system. There's hoses going everywhere and rams and cylinders. So this time I'm gonna get down here and really clean the tank out. I'm gonna fill it up with good fluid again and then see how it works. But it's just going to take a little bit of time. I'm using a milk carton here that I've cut. I keep scraping up and scooping up and putting them into these buckets. And funny thing is, I did notice that there's a little bit of like some bugs, which is really weird. Don't know how they got in here, because this is a plate that goes on and has a cap. Yeah, I'm really not sure what the history of this excavator, but I think it had a hammer on it, and they use it for jacking. So I did notice that we had these screens in here, and so I am going to be pulling those off and cleaning those screens. And down inside there at the bottom of this tank, it's pretty not nice. It's more like that gooey stuff, and if you look at that, that's not good. So I am going to keep cleaning out this tank until I can put some clean hydraulic fluid in it. And hopefully that'll be enough to have this machine run decently. It still will be leaking, because that's going to be a lot more work to fix the leaks. That's basically taking off the rear counterweight off of this and replacing the hydraulic fluid radiator, and also pulling the hydraulic pumps and get the hydraulic pumps rebuilt. If I get those two things, this thing should be a beast again. So the engine works awesome. You just barely touch it and that engine kicks on. That's a good engine. So all right, I'm gonna get working on this, and hopefully here within 20 minutes we can see a clean tank. Yeah, I think most of what the white is might actually be not water per se, but ethylene glycol, which is not good for the pumps. Now I'm getting down close to the bottom of the tank, and I'm probably see, I've taken out 1, 2, 3 5-gallon buckets. I'm working on the 4th and maybe a 5th. So that's about 25 gallons. So, all right, I'm gonna keep working and get this thing clean. Well, I pretty much got it all out, but down inside here, it's sort of hard to see, there is literally an inch of something that looks like milk. Probably an ethylene glycol from when the engine coolant leaked into the system, and I don't know, years of other stuff, because I never tore the tank apart. I mean, we have a drain plug right there, but since I saw the filters in here, figure I'd just take the top off and come in the top and just clean everything out, just make it clean. So yeah, this is there's some chunks in it. I noticed that when I brought it up, so all this is not good for the pumps. So I'm gonna keep cleaning and see what else I get. All right, well, I've got it preliminarily cleaned out. Just use the wet rags and keep squeezing out the gunk. So before I go and wipe it fully clean, I need to take these screens off. I got me a pipe wrench here. I'm hoping it's going to work. So I can't do this and hold the video camera, so I'm going to put the camera down. Well, I've tried to break it free, but wasn't working, so I'm going to use a cheater bar on this thing here. There we go. There we go. So much easier using the cheater bar than to try to bust your knuckles down inside the tank. Pipe wrench just barely makes it in here. I think I got it now. And screen number 1. Not too bad, but it's got a bunch of junk on it. It needs to be taken care of. And then we got screen number 2. Having a big pipe around to help out on this is really a lifesaver. And number 2. All right, well, you can see there's some chunks on the filter that fell off. Sure that. It's really strange. You got some like dead wasps that were stuck on the surface of these. I have no idea how they got in there. At some point this tank must have been open and they flew in. I don't see any openings on it. All right, I'm gonna finish cleaning up the tank and then we'll go and clean up these screens. Well, as I was getting ready to clean the filters there, you can see I've got them off the pipes. The pipes go over here to the side of the tank with this box, which is a valve body, so you can shut off the hydraulic. And I remember trying to shut it off once before, because if I have the leak, it would really be nice to be able to shut it off, and then I can not lose any of the hydraulic fluid when it's sitting. So real quick here, I am going to see about cleaning up that valve body right there and see if I can get it so that it'll open and close the valves. So I gotta go. I think there's a little bit of rust on that shaft, so I need a little bit of the emery cloth and some stuff for cleaning it. So I'm gonna go get that. We're gonna clean up and make that on and off valve body functional. Well, I can see some instructions now. Well, as soon as I'm done with the wire brush cleaning it off, we'll get a rag and then we'll look at those instructions. So I knew this was here. Tried using it once before, but I couldn't get it to work. You only turn it off when you're like doing the servicing or stuff like that, or you have a leak and you need to stop it when the machine's off. But you don't want to have that off when the engine's running. So, all right. Well, it's pretty simple. Use shut off only when servicing pump. Push knobs in to shut off oil flow, and pull knobs out to open oil flow. So I don't want to push a rod that might have some surface rust and damage any seals in here. So I'm going to make sure that these are nice and clean. They rotate at all? Yeah, this one rotates. This one still seems to be a little stuck. Oh, we'll keep working on it and make them work free. I'm able to finally rotate this one. And each time I rotate it and hit another spot, takes a little bit of work, but that upper one's pretty much cleaned. This bottom one needs a little more work, and then we can put some oil on it and try to work them. Well, that one lever arm is a little more than little more bumpy, so I don't have any of my emery cloth, but I do have this, so I am going to. That looks a lot better. So I'll rotate it and get all that cleaned off, and then we'll put some coating on it and then start working on it. Now, one thing I like to do, I've cleaned both of the rods with a wire brush, whenever I like have like control rods like that, that's gonna have to go in and out of a seal. What I like to do, because if you clean it up real good in the range or whatever, it's just going to get rusty again. And oil will help it a little bit, but it'll just wash off if you don't use it very often. So what I've done is I got some silver anti-seize. What I always like to do is I just put some of the anti-seize on it after I've sanded it or whatever. Just get it all over the whole rod on both rods really, and just work it in. Work all the anti-seize in, the whole thing. I like make sure it's all on. And you just want to work it. Make sure you get it like really good in it, all on every exposed part that you sandblasted or wire brushed. Just get it really, really good. Once you got it all on really, really good, what you'll want to do next is wipe it off. I don't really know how much effect that the anti-seize would have on those seals, but what I'm trying to do is anti-seize like really sticks to metal and stuff. What I found that if I do it, it almost like reacts to the steel and then it won't rust for a long time. So then I go through and wipe it off. You don't really notice any of the anti-seize once you wipe it off, but there's still a little bit on there down in all those little holes. So I've got that as it is. So I've got, well, now I need to lubricate it. And here was one of the buckets I was going to use to clean out the tank. But it should have some clean hydraulic oil at the very, very bottom. I'm just going to grab a little bit of that clean. Just put it all on that. Just all on that, both levers, just like that. So, I'll put that away, wipe my hands off, and now, see if these will close. That one's being stiff. Oh, that one moved. So we've got one. Close, open. So this one right here is, oh, it's moving. Holy smokes. I'm beating my hands. Well, I think I can make it work, but I'm going to need both hands to do it. Yeah, now that is nice. Now I can close it, I can open it. Close it and open it. So that's going to be really handy. Now I'm going to have to use this so it doesn't leak all my oil out when I'm have this thing parked. So, but I'm going to have to remind myself not to start the machine up until I have those open. So while I was here, I saw that. I figured I'd do that. We'll clean up and put my anti-seize back. We'll put this floor back down, and then we'll get back to cleaning them screens and putting hydraulic oil in it and starting this baby up. So, yeah, it's working great. All right, well, I got the hydraulic tank all cleaned out. And I got the filters clean, but unfortunately the end of one of the filters came off, and so I'm gonna have to do some work to it, and I'll show you that here in a second. So I'm gonna quickly just close this up because it's gonna basically, I probably won't be able to get back with the repaired screener filter until next weekend. So I'm gonna close this up, and then we'll walk over and I'll show you what happened to one of the screeners. All right, well, here's one of the filters, and here is a little problem. This is apparently glued on. You can see the glue all the way around there. Little piece of glue came off right there. That came off when I was cleaning. And so basically I'm going to need to, I'll go down to the shop and we will glue this top back on again. So as far as what I can do here, I'm pretty much done because I don't have the stuff to do it really good. I've got some good epoxy or silicone back at the shop, so I'll probably end up breaking off. Oh, that's pretty hard, whatever that is. Well, maybe I'll leave it then, because I can't break it. I'll just put a little more epoxy on here, put more right in this area here, put some along here, and then set it upside down, push it on, give it the rest of the week to set. So, all right, well, that's enough of that until I can get down to the shop. Well, I came to the shop, got some of the JB Weld, did some mixing up, and put it down there, and put a nice heavy weight here, and hopefully that will fix that one. I already took my air nozzle and really cleaned this, because even though I cleaned it with gasoline and a bucket and everything, there was still quite a bit of junk in the little holes there. So I've used my mini little air lance here, and then I come on the inside and I blow it out. So yeah, you can still see there's a lot of little stuff in there, but I will work this out, and that should be about all for these. All right, well, I've got both of the filters taken care of. This one under the weight, and I'm gonna let it sit there for a little while. Really needs to sit for about 24 hours to cure. The other one I just got cleaned off. I'm just gonna sit there. Hopefully our shop is a bit of a mess. I hope when they come in, nobody goes and takes the filters away. But I'm gonna leave them overnight here, and then I'll move them later. So the next thing we're gonna do is have to go back to the excavator and put them in. Well, I'm back. I got the one filter here. I epoxy the top on. A little bit of epoxy on this one little spot right here when I was flipping it over. But it's cured on. I just started to screw on the first one, and then I'll put this one on, and then we'll start putting in some clean hydraulic oil in here. So I'm really hoping that this thing will run a little better. I mean, if I can get this thing running another 10 or 15% better, I'll be awesome for a while. So definitely everything's all cleaned out. I will go through and make sure there's not any more gunk in there. Looks like I cleaned it really good last time. So all right, I'm gonna screw the filters on, and then we'll have to get the oil. Well, I set up my old diesel gas pump with a battery there to a 55-gallon drum of good used hydraulic oil. When I first started pumping, I pumped some in there because there's some diesel fuel in there. Once I got that out, then I'm pumping, and then I pumped it into here to make sure that there was anything in the tank at the bottom, because I've got the nozzle going down about 5 inches from the bottom, because I just, you know, at the bottom of the tank you don't want to suck anything. And then I first started pouring into here and then into the tank to make sure there was nothing coming out of here that wasn't very good. So everything looks good. Just taking a little bit of time. That pump is really not made to do this heavier stuff, but it's doing it slowly. So I figure from that drum I can get about 45 gallons out. And I've got some more in some 5 and I think like 7.5 gallon jugs. So everything looked way cleaner than it was. That's really nice. So we're gonna keep filling it up, and then we're gonna start it up and see how this thing works. Well, I've got the screen filters covered over by a few inches. I can actually see them down through the oil. This is a darker oil than some of the others that I've used. So we're gonna start this thing up and see how it looks. Well, with no window, I can reach in. I could see some of the, a little bit of the milky oil pumping back. But when I shut it off, it sucked a bit of the fluid down. I'll definitely have to add more in. But it's way better than it was. Whoa, everything's slippery. So I'm just going to put a little bit more, and I'll run it again. I'll run it for a little bit, and then I'll probably drain it. And now I'm like kicking myself because I should have gone underneath where the drain plug was and put a valve and a hose coming out so I could drain it really easy. But I'm doing way better. There's still a little bit of contamination in that oil. I'm going to bring a little more oil in. We'll operate it because there's probably more stuff in the rams, but it's much better than what it was. So we'll run it a little bit, and then I'll probably have to just drain this thing again, do it again. All right, I put more in. Fluid seems to be covering all the screens. Let's see how we work in here. All right. Wow. Wow, I'm not idling up like I did when it was cold, and it came right up. Seems to be working pretty good. Check the fluid, see what it looks like. That's a good omen right there of yeah, we still got a little bit of contamination from the rams, but it's way better than it was, and it's working way better. So I'm going to shut her off, close up, and then test her out. Well, I got everything put away, all cleaned up. I am going to start this up and give it a real test. I'll start digging in to where I need to clear out. So we'll get that started right now. it was before. When I say twice as fast before, it was running super slow before. So this is great. I'm just gonna start digging out, get it ready so the big Michigan can haul this over there. And so I'm just gonna start cutting all this out. Well, I've cut through a good chunk right here. Got a lot of these big boulders that started to get into my way, but I wanted to save these, the big ones. Wow, I've got some big ones back in there. And so I'm just gonna get the Michigan going. Oh, I first got to grab the forklift, grab a bunch of these boulders with the forklift. Then I'll use the Michigan to clear all this out. Wow, that's a lot of nice big boulders. Whew. Well, it was a pretty productive day. I got a bit dug out right here. And I've been pulling a bunch of the boulders, placed them down there. There's some like really cool rocks in here. Like, it's like a column. I'm gonna save that one when I come back tomorrow. But yeah, it's sort of hard. There's some like big boulders in here. But I'm gonna get all this cleaned out. And then we can start bringing all the equipment and doing all the sorting. I've already done quite a bit of sorting and scrapping and whatever, but just need more space. Plus, part of the underground bunker repair facilities going over here. So that's working out pretty nice. And just to show you the boulders, I've been moving the last little bit. Yeah. That one's a big one right there. Yeah, it looks great. So I'm gonna end the video here. Thanks everyone for watching. I'm just gonna keep working and working. We'll just get closer and closer to getting some things finished. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Please hit the likes if you like the video. You can also click on the subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.